In light of the dozens of illegal money scams that have been uncovered involving crooked politicians and foreign hostile governments, most notably the $14 billion and the $1.8 billion in cash that Barry Soetoro sent to Iran, I believe it is high time for the president to put the squash on the whole thing globally by declaring all dollars to be illegal tender and to issue a one-to-one exchange to a new currency. I've discussed this several times in prior videos, and it would make sense to do it since the exchange for the new legal tender notes would require proof that the money being exchanged was legitimately earned. In other words, we want to know where, as an employee of the federal government, on a salary of $185,000 a year, did you get the $6 million you're attempting to exchange? You can't explain it? You lost it. Finito. You're screwed. And not only are you screwed out of your money, you lose your freedom as well. The charge could be something akin to money laundering or tax evasion if it isn't treason, and the crooks and thieves, drug dealers and human traffickers, along with crooked banks, will scramble all over each other, and their demise will instantly change the world and make it much safer and prosperous. Hello, this is Dave from Net4 Truth USA. It is June 22nd, 2019. And I hate to keep harping on this subject, but it needs to be done. The globalists have been screwing us out of our money for a long, long time, since probably this country was founded. Little and little, they took the worth and the wealth of this country and hoarded it for themselves. And if you don't believe me, just reach into your pocket for a second. Let me reach into my pocket. I don't have any change on me, but yeah, I do. There it is. Listen to this shit. What is this shit? It's fucking tinker toy money. This is bullshit. I don't know what this is. This isn't money. This is monopoly tokens. And it's not only the physical change, it's the dollars. The dollars ain't worth the paper they're printed on. I remember when money felt like money. I remember when a quarter used to get black because it was silver. This shit is chrome. It's like you took a bumper off a car and melted it down and made quarters out of it. It ain't worth a lit fart in a wool mitten. They've stolen the money. So how do we get it back? Very simple. Very simple. You get up there and you sign an executive order that all money, all paper money in this country, 30 days from today, is illegal tender. It will be illegal for you to even possess it. That doesn't even matter because if it's worthless, who gives a shit? If you want to keep the money that you have, the money in the bank, up to a certain amount, will be automatically converted over to the new currency, and for just shits and giggles, let's call it Quatloos, with a Q. Just like on Star Trek, you know, the Quatloos, that they little minds were betting. I don't know how many Star Trek fans I have among my listeners here, but there was an episode where brains in a jar, essentially, were betting on different things, and their currency was called Quatloos. Well, let's change dollars to Quatloos. Let's see what would happen. All the counterfeiters that are printing up counterfeit money in North Korea, they're done because they don't have the plates to print Quatloos. All the drug dealers that have got piles and piles of cash and more billions of dollars in the bank all over the world in these secret Swiss bank accounts, numbered bank accounts. They're done. All the money laundering that's going on, all this pay-for-play shit, all the money that they got and they squirreled away in secret accounts that nobody knows of, they're done. Because when they go to exchange it, the question is, where did you get $100 million from, Hillary Clinton? Where did you get the $4 million to pay for your house, Maxine Waters? Where did you get that on a $185,000 congressional salary? You can't explain it? You lost it. Not only did you lose it, but this $4.5 million that you're attempting to exchange, that obviously you stole, because you're not earning that amount of money flipping burgers in your spare time. You didn't do any pork belly future investment like Hillary Clinton did a while back, if you remember that. So where'd you get the money? You can't tell me? You lost it. Okay, so now all the banks around the world are going to have to justify their accounts. You can't pull, it would be stupid to go and pull out money out of a Swiss bank account in dollars if the dollars cannot be exchanged, because nobody's going to change these dollars for Quatloos if the dollars are going to be obsolete in 29 days. So the whole global cabal of corporate and CIA and government corruption will come to a halt. It will come to a screeching halt the day that money is obsolete. It will come to a screeching halt. Nobody's going to want to handle dollar bills anymore with the Egyptian pyramid and the Eye of Horus on it, and Novus Ordo Seclorum on there, the New World Order. Nobody's going to want to touch that shit anymore. Everybody's going to want Quatloos. And it's not like you can speculate in Quatloos, buying Quatloos for dollars, because dollars ain't going to be worth a shit, and nobody's going to sell you Quatloos for dollars if they have two brain cells to run together. So the global cabal, by a simple act of changing the money, and anybody who's ever been overseas in Vietnam, especially in Vietnam, when we got there, they took all our U.S. currency and gave us this shit called MPC, Military Payment Certificate. It was only good in the PX. You couldn't take it downtown and spend it. Well, you could eventually, because there was a black market in that shit. And they would give, 30 cents on the dollar to buy something downtown, and then they'd turn around and give it to somebody who would buy something in the PX, and then they'd sell it there. There's ways around all this stuff. But when you make the money, the underlying currency, worthless, that creates chaos, and it only creates chaos for the crooks. It doesn't create chaos for you, because you're legitimate. You work for a living, you get a paycheck, you got your bank account that's automatically converted, unless you got over $1 million, say, and, then they want to know where it came from. And that's just fair. That's just fair. So I just hope, I've heard a long time ago that the new currency is already printed. It's up at an Indian reservation up in Utah somewhere. That rumor and that information has yet to be validated. But I wouldn't put it past them, because that's the coup de grace. That could be one of the things that is going to be announced on July 4th, that we got all our money back. We know that President Trump went over to the United Kingdom recently and met with the Queen, my ass. And I guarantee you he read her the Riot Act. And the thing with Iran, shooting a drone out of the sky, I believe was a deep state plot because Iran was going to turn over to the United States prosecutors evidence that they bribed Barry Soetoro, Trader 44, and then turned around and blackmailed them to send them $18 billion in aid and $1.8 billion in cash on pallets that the Congress didn't approve of. So who the hell is this Jabib that he can authorize almost $20 billion being paid of our money to a bunch of towel heads that are shouting death to America? Who the hell, whose side is he on? Take all their money. Soros, Rothschild, Rockefeller, all his assholes, pursuers. They would be decimated. They would be bums in the street because all of their ill-gotten gains are in dollars. They're in foreign bank accounts, in Swiss bank accounts, in bank accounts in the Cayman Islands. That when they go to get it out, it ain't worth the shit anyways. Might as well leave it there. And the banks are stuck with it. The banks are sitting there holding their dick because that money isn't going to be worth a lit fart in a wool mitten. And they can't exchange it because they can't prove its legitimate origin. Mr. President, you want to screw all the crooks on the planet simultaneously in one fell swoop? Change the dollar to Quatloos. This is Dave from Net for Truth USA Whirlwind Revolt. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to our backup channels, Whirlwind Revolt, Inglorious Patriots, and Net for Truth USA 2 Patriot channel. You can also find us at Net for Truth USA on BitChute. We fly so close to the target, we're on our 4th fighter jet. We will be relentless truth seekers until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/net4truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.